2020 was a whirlwind of a year. I actually was taking a break off of touring, and then the world took a break as well, which is kind of wild. For the first few months, I just was in my garden, just picking up all sorts of random hobbies, just like everyone else during quarantine. I always get inspired by something new. Anything that can just like make me hear something different, feel something different than I didn't before, like always. What's up? My name's Kurt, aka Flosstradamus. I am a DJ, a producer, and a nerd. Welcome to my home. I had amazing opportunities for like 15 years of my life. I got to tour the world multiple times and experience so many amazing things. And I wouldn't change that, but now after taking a pause for a year, I realized I should just find a little more balance in my life. And it was probably one of the best things I could have done. It's a lot more inspiring just to take a breath away from it. We are here in Los Angeles, California at my studio space at my home. I like to be centrally in my living room, I like to be around all the nature. Sound isn't the first priority, vibes are first priority for me, so that's what I'm doing. Once I ended up getting the output desk, I ended up making like this little modular system that I can just patch into everything. My space is very minimal. I don't really like having things all over my desk. I don't like a lot of clutter. I'm not the most classically trained musician on the keys, so I like to use an Ableton Push. This can kind of keep things like in key and just in sync for me, and I can just push some buttons and explore. This is a MIDI controller from the 90s that Korg made. Everything in my whole setup is modular. Like, it's really minimal, so I try to keep things hidden, keep cables hidden, keep things out of the way. But if I need to, I'll reach in here, get some headphones, if I need to do different references and things like that. And then I like to, with my Dangerous D-Box, I like to sum out of my computer, and I go into this, and this is an analog summing box. It's 8 outs into this. It turns it analog for a little bit, and then I can bring it back in. And then another good thing is I have the Frontier monitors here. They sound amazing. They're super crystal clear. And when I do mix downs, I do them at a low volume, and the clarity of these at a low volume is perfect. For right now, I'm sold. I love them. They're my main monitors. So currently I'm working on this remix for Akon. I don't know how many years it's been, but he's doing a re-release of all of his catalog. They asked me to remix one of his songs. I got to choose any of the songs. And since we're coming out of this pandemic and we've all been locked up for a while, I chose Locked Up, one of his bigger songs. I wanted to make more of a club banger type track for this. Just play around with his vocals, maybe do some melodies with that, and then just build it from there. So in the original session, there was this prison cell sound. And that was actually, if I can pull it out, this is kind of the original instrumental that they gave me. Every few bars, there's just like a prison door slamming. And so I just use that throughout the remix, use it in the intro. I also use it on a lot of the little turnarounds. I can even show you here. So it's like right here in the little turnaround. So I had the prison door sound from the original stems, and then I tried to find a synth lead that matched, something that sounded metallic in a way. And then I chopped it up to feel more like it was like played on an MPC. So just like little stabs. So you'll hear here, it's like has a metallic sound from the effects I added to it. And then it has a little bit of a choppier sound, like it's just being played through a sequencer. So a little metallic-y in the vibes too. So I wanted to put one of Akon's verses in there.
Steady trying to find the motive. Why do what I do? Freedom ain't getting no closer. No matter how far I go, the car is still.
In the intro, I wrote these like UK garish chords that kind of support Akon's vocals. I put those in, but I needed another little element to bring his chorus up. And so that's when I went to Arcade, and you guys have the new notes kits in here. And so I wrote a little synth line and something that's a little more polyphonic than normal Arcade. Like normally I would just play samples, and now I can like write a little synth line for it. So usually with Arcade, I'll just go through and just like press notes and vibe with things. Like I like to go to areas I normally wouldn't, because sometimes with tags, it'll kind of keep me narrow focused. So this time I'll go into weird genres and stuff. And even with the new notes mode, there's a lot of like 70s sounds that I wouldn't really use in EDM, but I was finding ways that it just fit really well. Like I like to write out the MIDI and then just play around after that. And then things can just happen organically, which I like. That's just going. And let me, I'll unsell it. So I had these like UK chords, and then I wrote this little synth line in Arcade, went into the tape kit, And I found this preset called Listless, and this just kind of supported his vocals in a way. And yeah, right here is where I chose a little bit of the movement, a little bit of the degrade, and yeah, usually I'll just go in and play with it. Like I'll find a preset that guides me in a direction, and then I'll just play with your like preset sliders. Every once in a while I'll dive deeper, but I just like how it just is like quick, ready to go, click a preset and go. I like the path of least resistance from my idea to on paper, and that's why I like arcade. I'm always attracted to the technology side of music making. Even all the stuff the output puts out is like always forward thinking and some next level stuff. The UI is so amazing that it just like kind of draws me in a way. Even makes me think creatively. During this pandemic, I got really into making money through crypto as well as stock trading. Then that kind of turned into the whole NFT thing that has been super popping now. And that was a way to bridge technology and bridge music, and then also push the boundaries of technology. And that's kind of what I did with this whole NFT thing I was doing. I created a vape that you can smoke. When you plug it into your computer, it unlocks an NFT on the blockchain. Yeah, so this is the vape, and on this USB drive, there's a little bit of Web3 technology that when you plug this into your computer, it actually unlocks one half of the other NFT. So if you visualize the audio of that NFT, you can actually see a crypto wallet address. It's almost like a little Dropbox for people to just like go in, leave a penny, take a penny kind of situation. I think it's really important for creatives to get in NFTs. Like whether you're a visual artist or an audio artist, you can have your art on the internet, it can be resold, and they can actually get royalties from those sales, which I think is great for them. So a lot of times when I create, I like to like throw back a little bit, like find things from the early 90s or even early 2000s or even 80s. And so I just found this like cheesy little vocal patch, just like a, kind of reminds me of like old trance music where they would have just like a corny preset in a keyboard. I used that and then layered it with 2 more samples to kind of throw it back into some 90s house. So it goes, just feels like really 90s house on the breakdown and kind of ties it into the nostalgic side, bringing in the Akon's vocals, which are nostalgic, and then it gets built up into some 2021 EDM drop. So that was kind of the idea on this breakdown. Then it builds up on maybe some like early 2000s build up that just keeps going and going and going. And then builds up, drops again. Back. I'm really excited for touring as an artist as well as to go see artists. Everyone's exploding with energy right now because we've been contained for so long. I'm excited to just play whatever and just kind of push the boundaries of who I am as an artist and test the waters. And we're all just like getting to go out and experiment right now and define what things will be moving forward.